Hello everyone. Welcome back to Improved Version, a channel dedicated to sharing profound knowledge on holistic personal development through the lens of life-changing books. What is truly making you feel increasingly impoverished these days is not actually your meager income or your perceived lack of diligence. Instead, it is those seemingly harmless daily habits that secretly harbor negative elements in your life. We often look for a singular, catastrophic event to explain our struggles, but the truth is usually much quieter and far more repetitive. Today, I would like to share with you a book that has had a monumental influence on my perspective, titled The Zero Waste Life. This concept represents a completely new way of living a zero-waste lifestyle. It is a philosophy that avoids wasting precious resources, while simultaneously freeing up more of your time, your money, and your mental energy. By adopting this path, you're not just saving pennies, you're continuously accumulating merit and virtue for yourself and the planet. It sounds amazing, right? However, you might wonder, what does it truly mean to live without creating waste? How is that even possible in our consumer-driven world? In fact, a growing number of people around the world have already achieved this remarkable feat. For example, in a recent interview, a 25-year-old environmental science student at New York University shared her journey. Influenced by this very book in 2012, she began her zero-waste transition. After several years, all the non-recyclable waste she had discarded could be contained in a single, small glass jar. In another inspiring case, a 35-year-old woman named Zoe decided to follow these principles. After 5 years of living a zero-waste lifestyle, she found that she had saved over $50,000. Living this way doesn't mean you must be perfect, or that you must never produce a single scrap of trash. Rather, it aims to drastically minimize waste, so that we do not squander our lives or burden the earth. Instead of littering, burying trash in landfills, or burning it, we learn to reuse, recycle, or compost it back into the soil. Choosing a zero-waste lifestyle is a journey of personal self-improvement, and a way to spread goodwill to the world around us. If you watched our recent video on the book The 4 Lessons of Liao Fan, which discusses how good deeds can change your destiny, you will see that a waste-free life is another long-term path to doing good, finding immense value in the smallest things of our daily existence. Let's look at the inspiring story of the author, Anita Van Dyke. Anita is an accomplished woman who seemed to have achieved everything early in life. She entered university with near-perfect scores and graduated with honors in rocket science, an incredibly difficult and prestigious field. She later became a distinguished scholar and a high-level manager at a large technology corporation by the age of 26. At that time, she was earning far more money than both of her parents combined. She held a high-ranking position, had a flourishing career, and a personal life that was the envy of many. Her wardrobe was overflowing with designer dresses, expensive handbags, and rows of luxury shoes. She took annual vacations abroad and lived the kind of life that millions of people are currently pursuing. But in 2014, everything changed. Anita recounted a specific moment that acted as a wake-up call. She was sitting in a high-stakes meeting room, looking at her boss, her boss's boss, and the entire board of directors. She suddenly wondered, is this all my life will ever be? She realized that in 5, 10, or 15 years, she would simply become like them. She was on a path to becoming more successful and more glamorous, but she had no idea what she actually liked or what kind of life she truly wanted for herself. Her real dreams felt like they were 100 miles away, and the distance never seemed to narrow. Have you ever felt this way? In fact, many experts believe everyone experiences at least 3 such instances of deep self-reflection in their lifetime. These are opportunities from fate to change our course, but most people are too afraid of the unknown and miss the chance. Anita had the courage to stop. She left her high-paying job to search for the true meaning of her life. However, the journey of living authentically always presents significant challenges. These obstacles don't exist to stop your progress, but to upgrade you into a stronger, more insightful version of yourself. The biggest immediate challenge for Anita was financial. Suddenly, she and her husband had to rely on a much smaller budget. They struggled with installment payments and debt. Eventually, they were forced to move in with her mother-in-law, and Anita temporarily became a housewife. She remembers sitting slumped in a suburban park one afternoon, bursting into tears of desperation. She felt trapped because she now had to scrimp and save every single penny. This feeling of desperation is familiar to many of us. When we go to the supermarket, we often wish we could buy whatever we want without looking at the price tag. We feel unhappy because we think we don't have enough money and our needs are being suppressed. However, the paradox is that even while we feel short of cash, our houses are often overflowing with stuff. We have closets full of clothes we don't wear, shelves of cosmetics we don't use, and kitchens full of gadgets we've forgotten. Every day, we accumulate small and large bags of waste, creating an enormous amount of garbage. Deep down, despite all this possession, we are never truly satisfied. So, what did Anita do in the midst of this impasse? Did she rush back into a corporate job to satisfy her need for possessions? No, she chose to stop chasing money and instead chose to optimize her limited budget through a zero-waste lifestyle. This was her first real contact with the method. She began to break her old consumer habits, minimizing unnecessary purchases and finding creative ways to recycle and create her own items. This process forced her to learn about the environment and the true cost of consumption. She became deeply empathetic to the suffering of Mother Earth. She realized that if she had stayed in her old job, she would have continued living in a state of spiritual ignorance. Consider the reality of our world. Millions of tons of waste are dumped every single day. Pieces of plastic produced in the 1950s are still sitting in our oceans today, unable to decompose. To produce just one single t-shirt, it takes over 700 gallons of water, the amount a human drinks in 3 years. In many developed nations, people throw away 1/5 of the food they buy every single week. The fish we eat and the water we drink are connected to the same sources. Where our plastic waste is deposited, we often think environmental protection is someone else's problem, but the earth is silently enduring immense suffering that affects every breath we take and every meal we eat. This deep empathy for nature motivated Anita to change the impact of her consumption. Today, she is back in school studying medicine, writing books, and running a successful website to guide others toward a waste-free, happier lifestyle. Her story proves that zero-waste living is not about deprivation or being cheap. It is about owning less so that you can receive more. Her life is now fulfilling, and she's finally true to herself. If you want to change but don't know where to start, and if you feel a sense of purpose arising to reconnect with the universe, this is your opportunity. The author presents a practical 30-day plan to reduce your waste by 80%, while freeing up your time and money for things you actually love. The first 15 days are dedicated to changing your mindset through reflection and action. First, give yourself time to ask why. Why do you want this? Your answer is a silent commitment to a conscious, purposeful lifestyle. Once you're ready, the very first task is to check your own trash can. Anita calls the trash can Pandora's box. When you look inside, you see the reality of your life. Plastic bottles, styrofoam containers, leftover food, disposable cups, and endless plastic bags. You're literally looking at thrown away resources and wasted money. Even highly educated people are often baffled by the amount of waste they produce until they see it all in one place. Dissecting your waste is the most direct way to stimulate your thinking on how to avoid it. For instance, think about disposable plastic bags or wooden chopsticks. A plastic bag is used for an average of 15 minutes, but can take up to 1,000 years to decompose, polluting our soil and water. Disposable chopsticks are often made from teak or eucalyptus, consuming vast resources. To make them look clean and white, many manufacturers soak them in bleaching solutions and sulfur, which can be toxic. When you see these things in your trash, you begin to realize how much you've wasted. Once you have this awareness, you can apply the 5 R principles. The first R is refuse. Learn to say no to unnecessary items, freebies, and impulse buys. Prioritize saving from the very beginning. The second R is reduce. The less you buy, the less you have to throw away. The third R is reuse. Before you toss something out, ask if it can be repurposed. Old clothes can become eco-friendly rags or storage bags. The fourth R is recycle. If an item is truly unusable, sort it and recycle it properly. In many countries, waste sorting is a major challenge, but unsorted waste can only be buried or burned, releasing carcinogens into the air. Preparing separate bins for food waste, recyclables, and other trash is a small daily action that brings huge blessings to your family and society. The fifth R is rot, or composting. Leftover food and vegetable peels can become nutrient-rich fertilizer for your garden, saving you money and providing fresh food. Anita also suggests preparing a zero-waste kit to make this lifestyle easier. This kit should include 4 main items: a reusable, foldable shopping bag so you never need plastic, a high-quality stainless steel or glass water bottle that will last for years, a reusable coffee cup with a lid, and a stainless steel straw. Straws are one of the most common plastic pollutants, so if you can't use a metal one, it's better to simply tell the server you don't need one. You can customize this kit to your needs, perhaps adding a lunchbox and your own utensils. To succeed, you must also establish consumption prohibitions, a serious agreement with yourself. First, don't buy unnecessary items like more shoes or cosmetics if you don't truly need them, even if they are on sale. Second, only spend money on food and essential necessities. Third, allow yourself to spend money on experiences. Use your resources to make life vibrant by visiting friends, taking trips, or learning new skills. These are investments in your soul. Fourth, understand your true values. As Anita says, if you want to know what you truly value, look at your bank statement. Spending on things with long-term meaning aligns your life with your goals. The next step in the journey is to say no to what you already own. Start with your clothes. Don't let your wardrobe dominate you. You should be the master of your clothing. The items you own should revolve around your actual life, not an imagined one. Outfits that don't fit your rhythm just sit there gathering dust and taking up space. Take everything out of your closet and lay it out. You will be shocked by the volume. Organizing by season, style, and color will save you time and reduce that morning feeling of having nothing to wear. Boldly let go of items you rarely use. Don't fall into the trap of thinking, I'll wear this when I lose 5 pounds. Decisiveness here frees up physical and mental space. If an item is still good, Give it to someone who needs it. Anita also teaches the empty boat principle, inspired by the idea that having more than what is necessary becomes a burden. In daily life, try to keep a maximum of 2 of any identical item. This creates a feeling of enough and prevents clutter. Rearranging your space is a way of rearranging your life. It reflects a growing sophistication in how you perceive value. Start small and progress slowly towards zero waste. Rather than trying to throw everything away in one day, extremism leads to regret. Consistency leads to transformation. You can also minimize new purchases by creating your own household items. Look at your vanity. How many half-used bottles of expensive cosmetics do you have? Many industry marketing tactics aim to make you feel insecure about your skin, to sell you more products. In reality, the simpler your routine, the better. You can make a facial cleanser by mixing organic sunflower oil with a few drops of essential oil. It cleans without stripping moisture. You can even make a household cleaner by fermenting fruit peels in white vinegar for a week. These simple DIY solutions prove that life doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. The next 15 days of the journey are for awakened awareness. This is when you begin to feel the urge to reconnect with nature. Anita worked from before sunrise to after sunset for 3 years, never seeing the sun on her working days. Many of us live this way now, which is why we feel so drained. I advise you to step outside. Take off your shoes and let your bare feet touch the grass. Feel the breeze on your skin and listen to the birds. If you lose your connection with nature, you lose your connection with yourself. No amount of money or designer shoes can fill that void. When you appreciate the beauty of the world, life bestows priceless gifts on you. You will naturally want to live in a way that protects the environment because you realize you are part of it. Aim for an elegant, minimalist life. This involves digitizing what you can using e-readers or borrowing from the library, instead of buying every book. It might even mean choosing public transportation or cycling over a private car. As you declutter your belongings, you will find that you're also decluttering your thoughts and purifying your mental space. This includes letting go of toxic relationships and cleaning up your social media. The internet should be a tool for positive interaction, not a source of jealousy and negativity. A truly enlightened life is one where your joy comes from within. It's strange how our leisure activities have become so tied to spending money. We meet friends for expensive dinners or shopping trips in noisy malls, where we can't even hear each other. True affection is nurtured through sincere listening and sharing. Try cooking a meal together at home or walking in a park at sunset. These simple moments create deep, lasting connections. Make a list of free joys, activities like yoga in a green space, reading, writing, or cycling that nourish your soul without costing a cent. This is how you return to yourself. True richness is found in the serenity of each moment, not in the items we possess. Anita chose to leave the shortest path to success because she realized it wasn't the path she wanted. She eliminated the plastic and the unnecessary, and in doing so, she was awakened from a state of ignorance. She no longer cares about designer labels or social status. She cares about meaningful work and the love of her family. She has seen the glaciers of Iceland and the forests of California, and these experiences have filled her with a yearning to protect the planet. She now lives with deep gratitude and sees beauty everywhere. When you stop wanting to possess everything, you say no to wasting resources and yes to a feeling of inner abundance. This energy will open up more time and space for you to rediscover who you truly are. Newton's third law of motion states that every action produces an equal and opposite reaction. This means that every small choice you make, refusing a plastic straw or bringing your own bag, sends a wave of influence into the universe. Never think that your actions are too small to matter. These repeated choices are like drops of water wearing away a stone. They will silently contribute to changing the world. When those drops become an ocean, you will be the first to receive the cool, refreshing waves of a fulfilling life born from love for nature and for yourself. Thank you so deeply for listening to today's long-form exploration of a zero-waste life. I hope these words have sparked a light within you to begin your own journey of simplification and awakening. If you found this story and these practical tips helpful, please share this video with your friends, family, or anyone who might be feeling overwhelmed by the weight of modern consumerism. Your support is what allows us to keep bringing you these deep dives into the wisdom of the world. Before you go, please take a second to give this video a like. It really helps our community grow and reach more seekers like you. Most importantly, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our weekly uploads. We are committed to helping you on your path to becoming the best version of yourself, one book and one habit at a time. Tell us in the comments below, what is one latte factor or piece of waste you are going to eliminate today? We read every single comment and love hearing your stories of transformation. Thank you again for your time and your focus. Stay mindful, stay green, and we will see you in the next video. Goodbye for now.